My Legion Go S finally arrived, so I thought I'd check out Avowed, both on the Legion Go original as well as the Legion Go S, and I may have also partitioned it and installed Bazzite to see what SteamOS is going to run like on the device as well. The Legion Go S is the 32GB 1TB version, so it is the pricey end, but really, is it worth it? Well, we'll find out today. As you'll see through this, Legion Go S on Windows is not as good as the OG in some instances, and Bazzite on the Legion Go S definitely brings some surprises. Looking at the original Legion Go here, as we run up through one of the big load spike areas, you see it dips down into the 25 frames per second area, and in combat it barely ever manages to get above 30. This is running at 800p with the 30 watt mode, with the fans running at full as well to get the absolute most out of this, and it is a little bit disappointing. I'll show you the full settings in just a second, but all of these are running at the same graphic settings, and to have under 30 frames per second locked is very disappointing. So settings wise, we're running with VSync on, 800p, FSR3 on balanced, with medium view distance and medium textures. As we look at the Legion Go S at Windows through that load spike, we see we dip down to the lower 20s, 23, sometimes it even goes a little bit lower. But interestingly, in combat, although we do get dips into that 20s, it does actually go above 30 quite often. As you see with the same section, although it does stay under 30 almost as much as the Legion Go, it does also go above it. This is more apparent when we go into some of the later sections, but overall, even for the Z2 Go to be this close to the Z1E definitely means that there must be some driver issues, or maybe that RAM really is holding it back on the Legion Go. As we put the Legion Go original versus Legion Go S side by side here, you see that actually that performance is incredibly close. And actually we even get better frame times most of the time on the Legion Go S. So at 800p this is extremely surprising, but also is it worth that money upgrade still? Probably not. However, Bazzite on the Legion Go S brings some major surprises, and this should be the case with the official SteamOS when it comes through that original load spike area. We don't dip anywhere near as low or even notice it as much, and once we get into the actual combat we're well over the 30 FPS mark and even very close to the 40s. This was a huge surprise for me considering how the Legion Go S was performing in Windows, which just goes to show that there is a lot going on in Windows that we don't know about, sucking a lot of that performance out, as we are often nearly 10 frames per second higher on the Bazzite version as we were on Windows. As we look at the Legion Go S with Bazzite and Windows side by side here, you can see just how much difference there is during the same combat sections. Not quite always 10 frames per second, but a big 5 to 8 frames per second boost, pushing it over that 30 mark all of the time makes a huge difference. Although we're not getting the 40 though, so we're not getting the benefit of that variable refresh rate just yet, but with some patches we should see something a bit better here. As we put all three side by side with a bit more action going on, don't really notice a huge amount of difference until we switch back to that FPS. And once again, Bazzite is pushing slightly better overall, though it's not always the case, as all three of these are dipping down into the low 20s when there's a lot going on. The OG Legion Go though does seem to struggle even pushing over 30 at any point, which is a bit of a weird situation, although not so much when we look at the age of the drivers. You may be wondering why the Legion Go S doesn't have the same overlay up, and that's because it has such basic drivers. We can't run the AMD software or get the overlay up, so I've had to revert to MSI Afterburner. In the same combat section with much more going on around, you can see just how low the FPS goes on the Windows version of the Legion Go S, barely even making it over 25 frames per second for most of the battle, and dipping under 20 when the big boss starts hitting. Same section though with the Legion Go Bazzite version, again staying over that 30 FPS mark pretty much all of the time, and even when the big boss hits and we have loads of effects, we just about manage to hold on to 30. So overall, the Legion Go S definitely seems like it's going to be more of a SteamOS machine when the official SteamOS version launches, or when we can get our hands on the original SteamOS to replace Bazzite. There is another way to play Avowed though, on any of the handhelds, and the Legion Go does this spectacularly well at 1200p, and that is through GeForce Now. You can see my settings here on GeForce Now itself running at 1200p and 120 FPS, which means you can put the Legion Go or the Go S into power saving mode and keep that 1200p resolution and get up to 3 hours of gameplay. Now at full epic settings, we're getting a solid 120 frames per second, both via the stream and on the OG Legion Go. But of course you can run this on any of the Legion Go's at 1200p or any of the handhelds at their full resolution, should you wish, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. You will need a stable internet connection and also a decent network though to make sure this is super stable, but is definitely worth the money if you want to be playing at full graphics, especially as Avowed is such a good looking game. Let us know in the comments below if you want to be playing natively or via GeForce Now and what device you're playing on. Keep your eye on the channel for more comparisons to come. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.